Okay, so this is the tutorial, advanced tutorial for wheelie scooter on Frozen Hillside. Been using save states and stuff just to show off strats. Sorry for that lag. I'm on emulator, so I can use the controller cam and the stuff. So since it's advanced tutorial, I'm just gonna assume that you have the concepts of scooter down. Pearstrike has some nice tutorials on like spin dashes and stuff and general scooter tech. But starting off here, actually starting from the beginning, we set up to do a spin dash here. So you want to be like along this wall and then press right left, like really quickly. So actually I should have the save state be further back. One sec. So like right where the ground changes, you hit right left and then hold A. And if you do it right, then you'll get the spin dash. Actually, I think you want to be slightly away from the wall, maybe. Okay, so this whole part like flies by really fast, but basically, after you do the spin dash, you release it, and then you do. If you release A like right as you go around the corner, right here, you'll have enough speed to get a jump off this little piece of the ground changes. And then, depending on when you release A, you want to land like right about here, but it's really hard to do that. And if you land too early, or is it up here more? I don't remember exactly. But basically, you want to land along this wall. And if you land too early, you'll land on this ice thing. Sometimes, like you land on the ice and you'll catch air and hit this wall weirdly. So it's kind of hard, but. If you get it, you're just gonna do a wall slide, so just turn towards the wall and hold A. And then once you get around that corner, you do it the same here. And then joystick spin dash along this wall. And then here I do 2 D-pad spin dashes, because it's along a flat wall, so that's when I use those. So it's like you don't have much time after you land to start another spin here. So if you don't get it, but like you're going pretty fast still, you can just kind of charge against the wall, and like sucking up the fire guy will give you enough speed to make it onto this. Like starting about here is where there's the soft wall again. What is it? Yeah, like right here is where the soft wall starts. Let me see if I can show you. Or I don't know, it's somewhere around here. So once you make it to the soft wall, then if you have enough speed, you'll zip along it like normal, So if you don't get the spin off in time, then sucking up that fire guy works. Anyway, 2 D-pad spin dashes because it's a flat wall. These ones are kind of hard. I'll set a save state down at the bottom. One sec. I'll just like start it from here or so. We hit the switch, one, here. Hit the switch, one, and then the second one you want to release before you get to the top, and you should get a nice launch. And then if you go too high, actually I should show you. Being in the air for the short moment above the rail is probably faster. You go like 110 or 120 or so, but if you're too high, you'll bump into an invisible wall, so you want to get down below that. Right here, there's a Japanese exclusive glitch where the charge slide, where you want to be on the 3rd rail and then hold A right before you go off it, and then hit the 1st, 2nd, and 4th like booster thing. If it's on JP or if it's on US or PAL, I'm pretty sure, then you can't do that. So you just have to go like, I don't know, I'll mention it anyway, but like you just kind of try and hit them. I think I'm not exactly sure what to do here. I think if you tap A at any point, you'll catch air because you're going so fast and it's on a downslope. But I think hitting probably something like that is not bad. If you're on the towards the right over here, then you'll catch air. And then it looks like you can still hit it. And if you're skidding, which I think happens less on US, but if you're skidding on the ice, just tap A, because when you're skidding you lose a lot of speed. But anyway, if you do the Japanese version, so you go 1, 2, 4, and you release, or you can charge against that first wall on the left, like in the cave, and then what you want to do to break this glass, which should only matter on lap 1 unless you mess up on the other ones. When you get, once you're touching this metal grate, you start a spin. And if you're not touching the glass when you're... if you're spinning already when you get to the glass, it won't break it, but if you're touching the glass when you start the spin, it'll break it. So that's why you need to get to the metal and then spin, and then just kind of go around the turn. Suck the Dale. So, let me get down there again. So right here, sometimes you can just kind of like hit the bridge for some reason, as it goes like slightly higher. But assuming you don't, then you'll catch air on that one. And actually, there's a strat here that I haven't messed around with, because I didn't know about it until after I kind of stopped playing for a while. But you should be able to do like a wall boost, or like a wall slide on that. Just on like the very first one. Normally my other strat was just like, you just kind of sail off it as normal, and then once you get to this, you do wall slides. So I'll just show off the current strat for now, but know that you could like slide off like that and do something like that. I think there's a way to make it faster, but the strat that I go for is you go off there. You don't flick there because you need to be on the ground long enough to get speed on the second jump, and then this is a pretty hard spin dash. There's a couple of them in a couple courses where, let me get there again. You're like basically going at the wall at almost like a flat angle. So if you look at the way that I handle the controller cam, I press left for just the like I tap A and left at the same time, and then flick right after. So I don't know if I can show it off very well from this angle, but. So you want to be almost, like, see this angle? I'm almost 90 degrees. Like, this would be 90 degrees, and this is almost 90 degrees. But then, if you do it backwards, then that happens. But if you get it, you'll sail off like that. And you can, if you land elegantly, or either way, I guess you can do a wall slide on that wall, which I recommend. Ice that sword guy, because he will hurt you like pretty badly. And then I'm gonna get down there again so I can show off what to do at the end. So it's right there. If you're quick, you can, or like if you handle it right, it's kind of like, it's not that big of a deal, but you can kind of like go up that wall by turning, and then you can catch air for a moment, which isn't much faster. It's not like catching air like normal, but like your speed goes up to like 40s-ish. You can get, I don't think the world record does this, but the way that the world record does it is it just hits this booster, taps A to stop the skidding, hits these two, and then does that to start the second lap. But then there's a different strat that I can do, which I'm pretty sure is faster, where if you hold down and then like release it at the right time, you can catch air, like a jump off the first booster, and then here, let me just kill him and then start from here instead. Basically, you can get a jump off. I want to show it off here, just so I have it in the video. So I don't know if you saw, I caught air there for a moment, but like the first A tab while holding down launches you into the air, and then you release down. Okay, there we go. So I got a double boost out of that. And going forward doesn't lose very much time, assuming you get it right. But if you don't want to, then you can just hit the booster, tap A, hit these two boosters, and then basically, sorry, you just kind of like turn towards the wall and then start charging A, and like the part before you get into the building is a soft wall, so you can start the wall slide on that instead of doing the spin dash like you do on lap 1. But if you, I don't know, let's say you like get ice or something and you end up going slow, you can just do another spin dash like lap 1. So, back over there again. having ice is kind of nice to kill those fire pigs if it works out. So yeah, there, like, my angle was off and I ended up hitting too far to the right. So right here on the second and third lap, if you press right for just a moment, you can grab this sword. The sword's nice because usually it helps you kill guys on the way down, but also it cuts through the ice for you, so you don't need to do the spin. Keep getting wrecked by the sword guy. And actually, I'm going to show off. Oh, so I should have mentioned something on lap 1. If you don't get the launch, or I'll explain it once I get to it again. But what I was going to show off here was that if you're going pretty quick when you're flying through this tunnel, you can start charging like anywhere along this wall, and you can get a wall slide like from as early as like down here or so. And you can just like wall slide along the whole thing. The grate is also the same soft wall, and then you'll slash as soon as you get through it. Like the ice is a soft wall, so you won't slash immediately. But once you break it, you can just really say. The sword will usually make it to about here, about that spin dash. Did I set the safe state down there? No, I didn't. Okay. I'm gonna move that up again. Actually, I can show off what I'm talking about here. So sometimes the sword will wear off right as you're going for the spin dash at the bottom of this. So it messes with your... Okay, right there it wore off early enough, or late enough because that was quick. But if you're a little bit slow, then the sword could wear off like right around like here or something, like right as you're about to do the spin dash. So just keep that in mind and like try and start the spin early enough. Like you can basically start it as early as you want. You get the whole second, and you only need the spinning for a moment. So if you can get the sword there, it's good. Usually you miss him and then end up like while you're doing the charge, you get the ice guy instead. But the sword guy lets you slash those. Unless you kill guys down here. But yeah, so if you don't get this launch right here on lap 1, that's what I was trying to say, like if you mess it up like that, there's 3 sword dudes like right there. You can get one of them. And it makes up for, since this sword at the top here isn't there on lap 1, it allows you to slash through this wall anyway. And if you don't want to, actually I can show off what you can do if you don't want to spin through it, or like if you mess up and don't have a sword on lap 1 if you don't want to spin through it. So once it respawns, my sword is, yeah. So if you're coming through fast, you can just go like that, and you'll have enough speed to slide across the entire thing, and you can make it around. So that's about it. Again, the wall slide, wall slide. Yeah, whenever you're skidding, which happens a lot more in Japanese, you want to tap A. Just because skidding loses you a lot of speed. Anyway, so that's my tutorial for Celestial Valley. Thanks for watching.